So today we're talking about average retirement savings by age. That's right, by age. One of the things when I was a kid, my mom saved like crazy, and she's 90 years old and she's doing extremely well financially. My father, on the other hand, liked to spend, never seemed to get into that mode of saving. Ultimately, they got a divorce, but it wasn't because of the finances, it was something else. But the bottom line is, when you're young, and if your parents saved, in my case, one did, one didn't, the question is, which way would I go? Well, I'm a big time saver, always have been. My wife's a big saver. We don't spend money on much of anything, really. We own our home, we own all our cars, we have no debt, and we've made a decision early on that that's what we were going to do so that we could get to a certain age and retire, and try to retire what we would call comfortably. And so I want to give a little warning to those, if you're in your 20s and 30s and watching this old man talk about retirement and numbers, listen to me closely. You need to save. When I was a financial consultant in my 20s, I don't do that anymore. But when I was doing that, we had a saying, pay yourself first. What does that mean? When you get a paycheck, invest the first part of it, 5%, 10%, whatever it is. Get in the habit of doing that, and then use the rest to do whatever you need to do. Now I realize some people have a hard time saving. They just never got into the habit. I'm not trying to beat you down or anything. I'm just trying to give you a friendly warning, because I see a lot on YouTube nowadays of young kids going out and enjoying life, going travel, and the reason is they say we want to be able to do it when we're young, and that's great. I wish I would have done the same thing. But the problem is, one day they're going to get older, and if they think they're going to be able to make more money when they're older, it's possible. I made a lot of money, but then when I got to my age 59, people didn't want me anymore. And what the result of that is I'm kind of in that forced retirement. There's no guarantee when you get older that you're going to be able to make a lot of money. That's all I'm trying to say. The other thing is, as you get older, and if people are watching this and they're older like me, they'll tell you it's much harder to do a lot of work when you're 60, 65, 70 years old. It's much more taxing. So yes, enjoy yourself, but save, okay? So let's get into the numbers. But before we do that, let me say one more thing. There's a lot of reasons why people didn't save. A lot of times we have a financial killer, right? Like divorce. And then you get half of your assets are gone. You have to kind of feel like you're starting all over. That happens. Then people have injuries, they can't work, or they lost their job and they have to eat into their savings. There's all kinds of reasons why these numbers might be low for some people. So where are you at? Kind of do an assessment and see where you are concerning the averages and the medians. So let's deal with the averages first. The average for 35 and under in savings is retirement savings. Now, when I talk about retirement savings, I'm talking about 401ks, 403bs, IRAs, whether it be Roth or the other deferred. And then those are the main those are the main retirement type of accounts that this is talking about. Okay, this isn't talking about net worth and house and cars and all of that. It's just your retirement savings, okay? So under 35, it's $49,000. 35 to 44 years old, $141,000. 45 to 54, $313,000. And 55 to 64, $537,000. And 65 to 74, $609,000. And then 75 and older is $462,000. Now, when I say average, that counts all the billionaires and the people that are making or saved zero. Okay, so it's going to be skewed. Now let's talk about the median, which is really going to be where most people are at. Okay, so under 35, it's around $19,000. So somebody that's 30, 31, 32, 33 years old, the median is only $19,000 saved. The 35 to 44 is $45,000. 45 to 54 is 115,000. Now I'll tell you that age category, when you get above 50, that's when you really start thinking about retirement, because you're getting tired. I don't care how successful you are, you're still getting tired. You're tired of commuting to work. You're tired of it all. It's possible you're just sick of it. Some people love their job, some people are just sick of it. So you're thinking at that age, you're thinking, when can I retire? And you think, well, at 62, I can get Social Security. Well, you're gonna get a lot less at 62, but that's a whole nother issue. And can you make it to 65? And then you think, well, I can't make it that far. Can I make it to 70 to get that extra amount? That's a long ways off. And you start thinking, how much have I saved? And one of the reasons the IRS starts to allow you to have catch-up donations into your 401k is because they know most people haven't saved. And so they allow you to put more in. And unfortunately, most people aren't at a point where they can take advantage of that. They have too much debt. So I'm not trying to beat anybody down. I'm just saying this is the reality of the situation. So at 55 to 64, you get the median's 185,000. So these are people that are really getting into that retirement. 64 is 2 years past when you can start collecting Social Security, and they've got 185,000. 65 to 74 is 200,000. Now I think most of us realize, depending on how much you're going to collect in Social Security, some people collect a lot, some people don't. You're not going to make it to the end of life on $200,000 and Social Security for the average Social Security check. It's going to be very, very difficult. You're going to have to do gig work, and I do gig work because, one, I'm just bored. I like to go out and do stuff. But it's not going to be a comfortable situation if you only have $200,000 and you're between 65 and 74 years old. And it's very telling, and I'll tell you the next category. 75 and older is $130,000. What does that tell us? So when they were 65 to 74, that age category, we were at 200,000. Now we're at 130,000 once we get past 75. What does that tell you? They're having to eat into that savings to the point where they only have 130,000 left. That tells you Social Security is not enough to handle this situation, to end of life. Did you know if you make it to age 60, the actuarial tables tell you there's a great chance that you're going to make it to 85 years old? You have to live. That's a weird way to put it. You might live 25 more years. You might outlive that money. So don't be in that situation. I'm just I don't want to see anybody in that situation. So if you're young, start saving. Pay yourself first. Now, one thing that this doesn't take into account is net worth. Some people have a huge house and it's paid off. My house is paid off. But the truth of the matter is you can't really use that cash. You could sell the house and you could rent, but then you might outlive that money, even if you invested it. You could get a reverse mortgage, and that's a whole nother can of worms. But bottom line is, that cash in your house we used to talk about it, you can't eat a doorknob, you can't eat a window. You have to sell the house, or you have to, get a equity loan, and then that's a whole nother matter. Okay. So net worth versus retirement savings, big different picture. We were just talking about retirement. I'm also going to talk about one other survey. It was AARP in 2024. And they surveyed adults who are saving for retirement. These people are already saving. Most people aren't. So this survey was people that said, oh yeah, I'm saving something. 31% of them said they aren't sure they will have enough saved. 33%, this is what caught my attention, 33% said they will not have enough saved. They already know it. They're so far behind, they're not going to get it. So don't get in that situation. Now, if you're already in that situation, I would love for you to comment below. Not tell me how bad it is, but just give a warning to someone else. Tell them what the situation was. What got you there? Was it that you just love to spend? Was it something else in your life? Was it a divorce? What happened? And just let it be a warning to someone else. Now, if you were very successful and say, tell us what that was as well. Everybody wants to know the success stories as well. So comment below. and help everyone out. This is Max. I'm with Max Retired. That's my channel. If you like this content, give me a thumbs up, please. It helps in the algorithm. Subscribe. It doesn't cost you a dime to subscribe. Hit that notification button, and that'll let you know when my next video is coming out. The channel is simply this. I'm retired. I don't want to be bored. I'm going to talk about all kinds of subjects, do all kinds of things, exercise, cook, whatever. And this is just something I was reading the other day, and I thought it would be of help to someone. I don't mean to sound preachy. I just worry about you. I worry about you if you're young. Start saving. God bless.